Hello, my name is Jonas. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a nice, attractive hamburger menu, which once you clicked on it, the options will appear, multiple buttons will appear. Once you click again, the multiple buttons will disappear. So to get started, we need to right-click, insert new object. This new object is going to be a touch. Click Insert. I'm going to right click here, insert new object. This object will be browser. Click Insert. I'm going to right click now, select Insert, and I'm going to add a sprite. I'm just going to name this sprite SPR. In fact, I'm just going to call it BTN hamburger. Let's click Insert. And I'm just going to put 3 lines here. Let's put it here. Okay, I'm gonna right click here. I'm gonna insert new object, and it's gonna be sprite again. I'm just gonna call this BTN1. Just gonna constrain the first button to make it fancy. So I'm just gonna click on the fill color. Okay, and I'm just gonna rename this animation to A1. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm just going to rename this to A2. Okay, on the A1, on the A2, I'm just going to right click and duplicate this a few times. Okay, and I'm just going to start with, going to use the rectangle tool, the rectangle select tool. I'm going to go to the frame 0 and highlight and delete this. I'm going to go to frame 1. I'm just going to go further down, and the second, the third one, sorry, and the fourth one, and the fifth one. Okay, and I'm just going to put some color as well. I'm just going to select that one, use the fill color. Let's use a different color here. Okay, so it starts like this and goes like this, and eventually we have the full color. I'm going to go to the A1. I'm going to use the collision polygon tool, and I'm just going to put this square right in the bottom left corner. Same with that one, same with that one. I don't want any collision on that one, on this animation. I'm just going to set the speed to 0, so it stops there. And here I'm just going to change the speed here to let's make it 15. Okay, I'm going to exit this. I'm going to increase the size, and I'm just going to right click and select clone. So I've got BTN1 and I've got BTN2 here. BTN1, BTN2. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the event sheet. I'm going to add a new event. It's going to be touch event. So when somebody on tab object, when somebody clicks on the hamburger, I want something to happen. Also, when somebody touches on tab object, the BTN1, I want something to happen. And also when somebody touches, let's click here, the BTN2, I want something to happen. So when somebody touches the hamburger, what I want to make BTN set visible to visible. And also I want BTN2 to set visible to visible. Okay. Also I want BTN1 to set animation to A2. And also I want the btn2 set animation to A2 as well. Now I'm going to right click here. I'm going to select add global variable. I'm just going to select hamburger status. Okay. I'm going to also, let's go back here, just for your understanding. I'm going to right click, insert a text. You can delete the text afterwards. It's only for you to comprehend what's going on. Let's increase the size there of the text. Okay. I want the text, so I'm going to add a new event, system event, and I will say every tick. So on every tick, I want the text to set text, and I'm just going to put hamburger status. So whatever my hamburger status variable will have, I want the text to display this. So on tab, add an action for the btn1. It's going to be browser, and I'm just going to navigate people to youtube.com. And for the button 2, I want to navigate people, so browser, go to URL. I'm just going to put here awebdesign.com. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is add a new event and a system event. It's going to be on every tick. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to add another condition. And the other condition will be the system event. And I'm going to select compare variable. And I will say if is equals to 2. Okay. So if it is equals to 2, the hamburger, I want to add an action, a system action. And I want to basically set the variable, set the value of the hamburger back to 0. So it goes 1, 2, and then once it's 2, it's back to 0. Also here, what I want to do, I want to put an action. I will say system action, and I'm going to select add to hamburger 1 value. So every time somebody clicks on this hamburger, it's going to set this object's visible. Also, it's going to play the animation 2 on both objects, and also it's going to add 1 point to the variable. Because it's 1 point to the variable, what I'm going to have is I'm going to be able to see everything. And when it's 0 is by default 0, it's going to be invisible. So what I need to do, I need to add an event. It's going to be system event, and then I'm going to select compare variable. So if the variable hamburger is 0, what I want to do, I want to basically highlight all this, basically take all this. I'm going to hold. So what I did, I just hold the shift key down to highlight all these objects. And then I'm going to hold the control key down, click and drag them here. So when the hamburger status is 0, I'm going to double click here. I want this to be invisible. Double click here. I want this to be invisible. And also I want this to be A1, to go back to the animation 1. And I want this to go to animation 1 as well. Okay, so if I click play, as you can see the status is 0. If I click once, I've got 1. If I click once again, it goes back to 0. And the animation goes back to 0. So how do I know that? Because I won't be able to click the buttons anymore. If I click here once, you can see a little animation here. If I click here, it will take me to YouTube. If I click here, it will take me to a web design. And if I click here, I'll make the status back to 0. Okay, so in this video tutorial, I just showed you how to create a toggle button. I can actually delete this now. Don't longer need this. I create a hamburger where basically I'm gonna display. Just before I go, make sure the initial visibility is unchecked here to make sure that it are hidden. So by default, you won't be able to see these buttons. If you click, you will be able to see them. If you click, you will not be able to see them. Now, you could do this by using the toggle. However, you will have no control over the hidden elements. As you can see here, if I click, nothing happens. And if I click now something happens. So if you don't want any conflict with the hidden elements to be still activated, this is how you're going to do it. So if I go here, the initial status is A1, which is hidden. Then when it's on hidden, we can actually see the collider here, the collision box. On the A1 status, the collision box is basically doesn't exist. On A2, the collision box exists. And also we have a nice animation here as well. Hope you've learned something new today. I hope you will use these new skills of yours to create amazing stuff. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.